Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the week 14 online video lecture for academic writing. And lo and behold, we have finally come to the end of the course. So, luckily, this is the last video that you'll have to see of me for this course. And in it, I would like to discuss with you how to go about writing your final exam, your second essay, a final exam, and this is a timed essay. All right, so I'll just go through the notes. I'll keep it short for you. I think the notes basically explain everything you need to know. And of course, if you do have any questions about this, please feel free to ask in the Kakao chat room or via email, as you have done throughout this semester. All right, so we have spent a large amount of time working on the term essay, and that is a longer essay in which we followed the writing process to gradually, step by step, follow a process that allowed us to really consider all the various aspects of writing and apply those not only to our writing, but see them and think about them and apply them in the writing of our classmates or the editing of our classmates' essays as well. This experience, and I want you to think about it as another experience, is different. Now, we're online, so it's a little bit more difficult to follow than we would be in person. But if you follow these directions, we can create a similar experience. So I want you to follow these directions carefully. Obviously, I'm not there to watch over you and ensure that you do, but for your best experience, the best learning experience for you, you will want to follow these directions. All right, so we are writing an essay, another academic essay. We're not following the writing process. We are taking an exam. So the educational setting here that I would like to follow is more that kind of exam style test or essay test. So for this exam, you must set a 2-hour timer and write a roughly 450 word, well-written, 5-paragraph persuasive essay taking a for or against position on one of 5 statements. All right. So again, 450 word length. That is plus or minus 10%. So the range here is between 400 words and 500 words. All right. Again, it should be 5 paragraphs and it should be persuasive. All right. So that all has to be done within the 2-hour limit you set for yourself. More on that in a moment. But you have options here. You must choose one of these 5 statements, which are topics to form the basis of your essay. All right, so you have 5 topics to choose from. They are A, advocating birth control as a part of sex education is wrong and should not be supported by the government in school. Right? I've said the state here. The state means government. B, college students must receive COVID-19 vaccines to return to in-person classes. C, voting in a national election should be mandatory. You must do it for all legal voters in Korea. D, violence in the media creates violence in society. All right, so violence in the media means, here talking about violent TV shows, video games, movies. And that creates the trend of violence within society. And E, online education is just as effective as learning in the classroom. So those are your 5 options, 5 opinion statements. You must choose one of them and choose to agree with that statement or disagree with the statement. And that will form the thesis for your essay. All right, so this should make coming up with a thesis fairly easy and straightforward. You don't have to spend a lot of time thinking about your topic or really thinking about the kind of greater reason for writing. You might want to think about kind of the scope of your thesis and maybe how narrow you want to focus on your ideas, right? So if you agree but or disagree but, okay, those but statements can help you narrow your focus. So you might agree with something if there are certain conditions, or you might disagree with something if there are other conditions. So consider just how specific, how narrow you want to express your thesis, and that might help you to write a more successful essay as well. Okay, so 5 options, 5 opinion statements. Choose one and then choose whether you want to agree or disagree with that statement. Okay? Whether you personally agree or disagree with the statements means nothing to me. If you want to play devil's advocate and explore the side of an issue that you don't necessarily agree with, if you find that interesting, that's possible as well. I don't really care how you feel personally about these topics. That's not the purpose. The purpose is to write an academic essay in which you choose one of these positions, one side of one of these positions, and express a well-written, well-developed essay around it. All right, so the purpose of this essay is to give you the opportunity to write a different style of essay, one that tests your ability to write an essay in a timed environment. This is a useful skill, but can be a stressful experience. And with practice, you can get better results if this is a skill that you develop. Now, to relieve some of the stress, again, you can take a little bit of time to prepare. If you want to spend an hour or so just making an essay outline and brainstorming your thoughts, go ahead. But you are required to write the essay, the whole essay, in 1 2-hour sitting. All right, now again, I can't be there to watch you, but you are going to promise me that you are going to set that 2-hour timer and you are going to write this essay within that 2-hour time limit. And for that, it's your honor, it's your word. I trust you and I believe you. Again, to successfully write a unified, coherent, and developed essay, remember everything that we have studied so far when it comes to the use of academic language, the structure and definition of an essay, unity, coherence, development, all those aspects, appeals, conciseness, okay, all of those different aspects that we really want to remember and apply are going to make for good writing. So keep those in mind. You need to demonstrate a clear understanding of those aspects in your essay as well. However, no references or citations are necessary in this work. Okay, now that said, make sure you do not plagiarize anything. I do check for plagiarism, and plagiarism will not be accepted unless you want 0 for your test. All right. So when it comes to grading, though, I will not be grading these essays in the same way that I grade your term essay. All right. The term essay, we spent a lot of time following a process. So my expectations for the term essay are much, much higher than they are for this essay. So now obviously using English and English grammar and the right vocabulary and limiting your mistakes, your language mistakes, are helpful and important. I will be placing a much lesser importance on those aspects, the form aspects. All right. So if you forget a little bit of punctuation or make a little grammar mistake here and there in verb conjugation or verb tense, I can largely ignore a lot of those. When it comes to the use of English for this test, my focus is largely going to be communicative. So that means if you can communicate your ideas using English clearly enough, then I will largely ignore many of the format errors, spelling, punctuation, grammar, etc. Okay, so that's going to be a bit of a difference in the grading. So my expectations for the term essay that you just submitted, much higher. You had so much more time to write and edit and fix and improve and eliminate all those mistakes than you do in this essay. So much lower expectation. Okay, but still, don't try to make mistakes. I'm sure you won't. Now, the test is due on or before Wednesday, the 8th of December at 12 o'clock noon, 12 o'clock p.m. And it must be sent to my email address, the one you've been using all along. Just like with the term essay, make sure that you send this as a Microsoft Word file. I will not accept a Hangul file or a PDF. Make sure it is a Microsoft Word file only. And just like with the term essay, make sure you include your name, your student number, and academic writing in the subject line of the email that you send me, and also your name, student number, and the name final exam in the Microsoft Word file that you attach to your email. All right. Make sure you follow that carefully. It will save me a lot of frustration and allow me to be more organized. Also, please don't send me any of these pages. Just send me the essay. Okay? All right, so that's basically it. So to review, you are writing another academic essay. This is a 5-paragraph persuasive essay that is between 400 and 500 words. And you must take a for or against position on one of these 5 statements. All right. So just a quick review too. Let's compare this writing experience to the term essay. Okay. So what is the same or similar in this essay and with the term essay? Right. Using academic language. We still want to use academic language in the same way. So the language register in how formal you want to be in the language that you're using should be the same. All right. You should still be using objective language. You should avoid generally the personal pronoun I. Avoid contractions. Avoid slang and idioms. Also, what is the same? you want to demonstrate your understanding of appropriate essay form, right? This is a 5-paragraph essay. Make sure you have 5 paragraphs, and make sure you have 1 paragraph for the introduction section, and make sure that introduction section meets all of the criteria that we need to include. You should have 3 body paragraphs, and then you should have 1 paragraph for your conclusion. And again, make sure that that conclusion includes everything it needs to, right? It should restate the thesis, summarize the main points of the body, and create a sense of conclusion there. Also, for this essay, what is the same? You need to understand and demonstrate the appropriate use of appeals and development. Okay, so it's an academic essay. You should still be relying heavily on logos appeals. Okay, you can include pathos appeals depending on the topic you choose and the argument that you make, but largely we're going to rely on logos appeals. Okay, but you don't have to ignore pathos appeals. Just make sure that they are appropriate and that you use the appropriate language to make them. All right, and of course, ethos is, kind of a balanced approach that includes not only a good understanding of how to make logos and pathos appeals, but also demonstrating knowledge of the essay form and the appropriate language and format as well. Okay, when it comes to development, same thing. All right, still an academic essay. You still want to use reason and logic and knowledge to develop these ideas rather than strictly emotion. All right, the format for this essay is exactly the same, and the way you submit the file I just discussed, that is exactly the same. So make sure your Microsoft Word file, make sure you have the subject line of the email with your name, student number, and academic writing, and the file itself has your name, student number, and final exam in the title. All right, and of course, what is similar is there is no plagiarized content accepted, and I will be running all of your essays through anti-plagiarism software. So do not include any plagiarized material. All of the ideas and all of the writing must be your own. So more importantly then, what is different? Okay, well, you know that the length is different. Your term essay was 750 to 1,000 words. This essay's length is 400 to 500 words. If it is less than 400, you will be penalized. If it is more than 500, you will be penalized. So make sure you aim for 450, but you can go over by 50 or under by 50. All right. Also, we are doing this as timed writing, a short 2-hour test format. So we're not going to be following the writing process. This is the test taking format. All right. Also, in comparison to the term essay, you had to brainstorm and develop your topic. Here, the topic, you do have choice, but you have choice of 5 opinion statements to respond to and take a strict yes or no approach with them. Remember that references and citations are not required for this essay. All right, so there's not a great burden of research, and that also affects how I grade these. I would be expecting in your term essay to have a greater level of quality and quantity in information. Here, obviously, it's a shorter essay, and I'm not expecting you to do deep research on these topics. So again, the grading will be less stringent. I'll be less strict in grading this essay than I will be for grading your term essay, due to all the time and energy that we focused on for the term essay. All right, and lastly, what is different due to time constraints? It is the end of the semester. I will not be able to provide qualitative feedback, all right, for this essay. I am just going to be reading this essay and grading it. I'm not going to be sending it back to you with my advice and opinions, but hopefully you can learn from the term essay there, and you can look back on this essay as you want later when you get your grade back, and maybe figure out where or how you did well, or where or how you could improve. All right. One last point. What did I want to say? Yeah. This week I will be trying my hardest to get back to you all of your term essays. Keep in mind just how much time that takes. Like typically 30 to 40 minutes of reading and giving feedback for each person's essay. I have about 50 students in this class. So my goal and my plan is to get back those term essays to you before the due date of this essay, so that you can see the feedback for your term essay and apply it to improving on your final essay. All right, so I would recommend that you wait until you receive your term essay before you write this essay. But you do have one whole week, but over that week, starting today, it's Wednesday, I'm going to do my best to get the term essay back to you. So I highly recommend that you wait till I get the term essay back to you and see what your strengths and weaknesses are with the term essay, and try to learn from that before you sit down, take the 2 hours to write the second essay, the final exam. All right, that is my recommendation to you. All right, I think that is everything I need to discuss. Please make sure you follow all of the directions carefully. Make sure you define your task carefully. Don't make any simple mistakes because you didn't read the notes or watch this video closely. And of course, as always, if you do have questions, make sure you email me or ask me in Kakao chat room. All right. So that is it. Good luck to everybody. I hope you have found this course to be helpful for you. And hopefully I'll get a chance to see you on or around campus maybe next semester. So good luck to you all, and good luck on this final essay exam as well. Bye-bye.